Yes, people, what is happening? The Liverpool Prophet back again with another video and more Liverpool related news. Well, I say news actually, not news today. I am here for my Newcastle United versus Liverpool match preview and prediction for the game. I'm going to give you mine. I'm going to give you how I think the game will go, what I think the score will be, and how I think Liverpool will cope away at St James's Park. So, yeah, people, should be an interesting one. Do let me know in the comments down below what you think. Before I get into the video, however, do remember to drop a like on the video, of course. Do remember to subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. And do remember to drop a comment down below, like I've just said. It's always good to hear what other people have to think and have to say. So, yeah, people, let's get into it though. Newcastle United versus Liverpool, Monday night, 8 p.m, St James's Park, game week 2. This is going to be an interesting game. This is going to be an interesting game. Now, look, the talking point around Newcastle and Liverpool at the moment is, of course, only because of one thing, and that is the transfer and the fate of Alexander Isak. Now, we don't know yet, as I record this, we don't know whether Alexander Isak will be a Newcastle player this season or whether he will be a Liverpool player this season. So, because of this situation, this game is being hyped up crazily to crazy levels of just something else in general. Is it going to be a tough game? Yes, it's going to be a tough game, 100%. But do I think it's being overhyped a little bit? Yes, I do indeed. I feel this game is a lot bigger for the Newcastle fans than it is for us. I feel they are really triggered about this Isak thing, proper triggered. They want to teach us a lesson, rightly so. To be fair, it'd be the same the other way around. And again, I just don't think that the Newcastle fans can take that. Isak wants to better his career. He wants to leave for a bigger club. And obviously, it's wound them up, which is why they are hell bent on beating us on Monday night. Like I said, I've seen Newcastle fans saying, pray for Liverpool. They're coming into the Lions Den, the Gladiator Pit, etc. I've heard all of it, to be fair. I've heard all of it. We'll do the talking on the pitch, won't we? That's what we'll do. But yeah, is it going to be tough, though? Of course it's going to be a tough game, 100%. Newcastle away, even if in normal circumstances, Newcastle away is never an easy trip. Last season, obviously, we went up to Newcastle away and we drew 3-3 in a chaotic game, a very chaotic game. We took the lead. Newcastle went 2-1 up. We pulled it back to 2-2. We went 3-2 up. Obviously, Kelleher made a mistake and it led to Newcastle getting the equaliser and the game finished 3-3. But again, it was a really chaotic and, mouth-watering game, to be fair. Could have gone either way. On another day, maybe Liverpool lose that. On another day, maybe we see it out. But it was a game that is very enjoyable, definitely. But yeah, before that, we went up to St James's Park and we went there, really. We were down to 10 men and we beat them 2-1. 10 minutes ago, Darwin Núñez came off the bench and scored a brace and got us to 3 points. And we went back up to Anfield with the 3 points. So Newcastle away, it's always eventful, whether it's a goal fest, whether it's a sending off, whether it's something. It's always an interesting affair against them away. And again, St James's Park is not a joke. They have a crazy atmosphere over there. They've got some passionate fans. Never an easy game away at Newcastle. Never an easy game. And I don't expect it to be an easy game this time around. Like I said, this Isak situation has really rattled them. So they are going to be on to us. The second the Liverpool bus arrives in town, I imagine they're going to be on to us. And the pitch, they're going to be on to us. Their fans are going to make their feelings known to our players. So it's going to be a real hostile and toxic environment for Liverpool. Yeah, we're gonna have to cope with it. We're gonna have to cope with it because look, they're gonna do everything they can to get into our heads. We know that. Again, also we have got worries. To be fair, we've got no fit right back for this game. Obviously, Jeremy Frimpong is out until the international break. So not only does he miss the Newcastle game tomorrow night, but he will also miss the Arsenal game next weekend, which is a big blow. So he's not back until after the international break. We have Conor Bradley, who has returned to training, but let's be honest, people. Do we really want to throw Conor Bradley into Newcastle away? That's a recipe for disaster. You can't throw someone who's just come back from injury into a game that's going to be really toxic. Really, there's going to be tackles flying around. Cards still flying around. It's a recipe for disaster playing Bradley or shoehorning him right back into a game like this. So I don't think Bradley plays at right back, which then begs the question. Who plays at right back? And I'd imagine it will be Curtis Jones who plays there, which I'll be honest, it's not ideal. Curtis Jones at right back isn't ideal. And it's definitely something that I think Newcastle will look at it and think, you know what, we can get joy off that right hand side. If we target Curtis Jones on that right hand side, we can definitely get some joy from that side. And imagine Arsenal will think the same next week as well. So yeah, the right hand side is a weak point, and defensively as well at the moment. I think the defense is just a weak point at the moment as well. We conceded 2 goals at home against Bournemouth on opening week. Now we're going away to St James's Park. So again, defense worries me. If we're going to get a good result here, we have to be switched on defensively. We cannot, play how we did against Bournemouth. Let's be real. It's all well and good conceding 2 goals at home against Bournemouth because we've got the crowd on our side. We're at home opening week. We know we'll still get the win. You cannot go away to St James's Park with the way the atmosphere is going to be, with the way, their fans are going to be onto us, and defend the way we did, because we'll be 1-0 down very, very soon. And then we've got a trek to try and get back into the game, because you go 1-0 down at St James's Park, let's be real, it's game over most of the time. They can defend like hell. They are very resilient. So that's the last thing you want to happen. So defensively, we have to be switched on in this game. Ibrahim Konate has to have a better game than he did against Bournemouth. He has to be a lot more switched on, a lot more alert. Not just Ibu, to be fair. Virgil, the whole defence has to be on point and switched on, which, let's be real, it's unlikely. Having said that, watch us go 1-0 down now on Monday night somehow. So yeah, it's one of them games where it's going to be an interesting affair, a cagey affair. But we need the 3 points, people. We need the 3 points. In case people didn't know, Manchester City lost against Tottenham Hotspur by 2-0 yesterday at the Etihad Stadium. So City have dropped points on game week 2. Game week 2, 2 games in, Manchester City already sit on 1 loss for supposed title challengers. Arsenal obviously won. So yeah, against Leeds, that was expected. But Liverpool here have the opportunity to open up a little gap on Manchester City early on in game week 2. We could have a 3-point lead on them going into this international break. So I know it's not much, and I know it's very early on in the season, but still, you know what? These points can come to fruition at the end of the season. Let's be real. They can really, really, really matter. In previous seasons, we've lost that by a point, 3 points even, 1 point. And you sit there and you think, had we just got 1 more point, had we just won 1 more game and got 3 more points, we could have been title winners instead of runners up. So look, these points at the end of the season, I feel, will be very important. So if we can get an early gap on Manchester City and open up a little bit of a gap between us and them, we'll take it, people. We will take it 100%. I think that's what we need to do. Now, we've got the opportunity with Tottenham having done us a favour. So I think we should be going into this game with the expectation and the want to win and get the 3 points and come back to Anfield with 3 points in the bag. Again, it's not going to be easy, though. It's not going to be easy. I'll be totally honest. It's not going to be an easy one. Again, I'm a bit nervous, people. I'm a bit nervous. I don't want none of our players to get injured. Pick up long-term injuries. It's going to be an aggressive game. Newcastle players are going to be physical. They're going to be onto us like a pack of wolves. When we have the ball, I would imagine they're going to close us down. They're going to be tackles flying around all over the place. Just hope that one of our players doesn't pick up a knock or get injured in this game, because definitely feels like that could definitely happen. Again, toxic atmosphere, like I've said. It's going to be a tough environment for us to play in. Obviously, with the ESAT thing going on as well. It's going to be proper toxic. So we have to kind of just weather the storm, I feel, and kind of just weather it and deal with it and just show that we're not going to be intimidated. We've been to worse grounds, let's be real. We went to Bayern Munich away, Barcelona away. We didn't get intimidated. So we need to show that type of resilience again. But make no mistake, people, Newcastle away will be a tough affair. Like I said, even if the ESAC thing wasn't going on and it was just a normal week, I'd still say it would be a difficult game because it's never easy up there. Arsenal haven't beat Newcastle in how long at St James's? Don't know how long exactly, but it's been a long time. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting affair, a very interesting affair in my opinion. So we'll have to see where it goes. But guys, I want to give my my starting 11 and how I think what I think the score will be and how I think the game will go as a whole. So if you can just bear with me, I'm going to share my screen. I just share my screen, and you guys can see my predicted starting 11 for the game. As you can see, people, if you guys can see this, or hopefully you guys can see this here, this is my predicted 11 to face Newcastle United tomorrow night at St James's Park. Obviously, in goal, you can see I've gone with none other than the Brazilian wall, the Brazilian legend, the Brazilian Messiah, Alisson Becker. No one else plays in goal, let's be real. So that's a no-brainer. Ali, the big Brazilian, the best keeper in the world, will be in goal. So yeah, we'll take that one. We will take that. As for right back, this was an interesting one. I was struggling with the right back situation, I'll be totally honest. I was wondering, do I put Conor Bradley in? Do I think Arnott will go with Conor Bradley? Do I think it'll be Jones, maybe even Endo at a push? But I decided on Curtis Jones. I don't think Arnott is going to want to throw Conor Bradley back into a game. Well, back into Newcastle away after just coming back from an injury and risk him getting injured again and for a longer period of time. I think the sensible bet here is probably to play Curtis Jones at right back. And although it's not ideal, we know Curtis Jones can do a job there if he's called upon in a one-off game or a two-off game. Obviously, long-term, that's never going to happen. We don't want Jones there. But I feel here he can definitely do a job. Although it will be a weak point, like I've said. They are going to target the right-hand side with Jones there. So, yeah, let's hope he can do a job there. Centre-backs, I've gone with Ibrahim Konate and Virgil van Dijk. No surprises there. Still haven't signed Mark Guehi. We don't know where that's going to go. So, again, Virgil and Ibu partner each other. And like I said, hopefully Ibu is a lot more alert, switched on, and has a better performance than he did last weekend against Bournemouth. And hopefully Virgil is there and Virgil is switched on as well. Left back, I'm going to go with Milos Kerkez, of course. Now, again, I was struggling with the left back position. I'll be totally honest. I was considering starting Robbo in this one. I was considering starting Robbo at left back. I think the physicality, the shithousery, etc. It's going to be a proper toxic and physical game. And I would have put Robbo in at left back. I'll be totally honest. I would have put Andrew Robertson in at left back. I think this is a game that suits him. It calls for him. He'd be perfect for this game. But ultimately, I decided to go with Milos Kerkez. Give Kerkez a bit more of a run. I know he wasn't great against Bournemouth, but give him a bit of a run, a bit of 3 or 4 games, and you probably will see him improve. So ultimately, I was torn on Robbo or Kerkez, but I decided to go with Milos Kerkez. As you can see, the back four then is obviously Curtis Jones, Konate, Ibrahim Konate, Virgil van Dijk, Milos Kerkez with Alisson Becker as the goalkeeper. The 2 double pivot, I have gone with Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis McAllister. Having Ryan Gravenberch back in this game is a big, big W in my opinion. I'm really happy about that. You saw how much we missed Ryan Gravenberch in that midfield last week against Bournemouth. He was a big, big miss. You saw the midfield wasn't quite the same without Gravenberch there. So for him to be back this weekend, I love it. I'm loving it. It's a big, big positive and a big W. And of course, he walks right back into the team. Partnering him, none other than Alexis McAllister. Again, you need Maka in there. Maka. Again, Szoboszlai's been good, to be fair. A lot of people didn't think he played well against Bournemouth. I thought he looked pretty decent. But yeah, McAllister, I think, will play. And obviously, Szoboszlai then will have to hold the bench, unfortunately. But yeah, double pivot for me, Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis McAllister. For me, that is the double pivot we should be playing. The 3 across the front line, I have gone with Mohamed Salah. No surprises there. Mohamed Salah off the right wing. Hopefully, Mohamed Salah now starts to put the incidents behind him. Obviously, we know why he wasn't playing too well. And hopefully, we start to see Mohamed Salah be the Mohamed Salah of old. Obviously, I said I felt Mohamed Salah hadn't grieved the death of Diogo Jota. I thought he was playing with a burden on his chest. He saw against Palace he wasn't on it. Last weekend he wasn't on it. But I feel at the end of the Bournemouth game, when he went over to the fans, when he showed his emotions, he was able to grieve. And I think now we will start to see Mohamed Salah get back to the levels and get back to the Mohamed Salah of old. So hopefully this is the start of that away against St James's Park. So Mohamed Salah off the right wing, no brainer there. Cam, in the number 10 position, I went with Florian Wirtz. Now, I'll be totally honest, people. I was a bit sceptical of starting Wirtz in this game. I was because, like I said, physical game, tackles are going to be flying around all over the place. There's going to be tons of cards. I didn't want to risk Wirtz in this game. The last thing we want is for Wirtz to, get tackled or, get an injury and he's out for a couple of months. So I was really, really protective of this one. I didn't really want to start Wirtz in this game. But I feel we need his creativity. Newcastle, obviously, they're going to be very dogged. They're going to be resilient. They're going to be hard to break down. I feel we need the creativity of the McAllister, the Wirtz. So I did ultimately decide that Wirtz will start, and I think Arnold will start him. However, if he doesn't play on Monday night, tomorrow night, I understand why, because you don't want to risk someone of his caliber to get injured this early on in the season. So I think he will play, but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play either. Left wing, Cody Gakpo. Again, no surprises there. Is there? Let's be real. Cody Gakpo is the only left winger at the club, so again, I think he'll play again. And yeah, hopefully he does the job. Up top, striker Hugo Ekitike. Now, this one is going to pee a lot of Newcastle fans off. Newcastle fans obviously thought they were going to get Hugo Ekitike, but obviously he snubbed them and decided to join Liverpool instead. So this is a signing. I'd imagine he's going to get a lot of abuse. They're going to be shouting all sorts of stuff at him. So hopefully he puts his head down and he just plays his football like he did against Bournemouth, like he did against Palace, because he was very, very good for them 2 games. And hopefully he can continue this one here. And hopefully he even scores a goal. I'd love it if Ekitike opens the scoring, or maybe even scores the winner to shut the Newcastle fans up, you know. So yeah, hopefully Ekitike will play, and hopefully he carries on his good momentum and his good start to his Liverpool career in this game. So yeah, that is my team, people. If you want to run through it again, Alisson Becker in goal, Curtis Jones at right back, Konate and Virgil van Dijk at centre back, left back Milos Kerkez, 2 in midfield in the DM positions, Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis McAllister, 3 across the front line, Mohamed Salah at right wing, Florian Wirtz in the number 10 position, Cody Gakpo for left, and up top, none other than Hugo Ekitike as our striker. This team, on paper, again, is a very strong team. Obviously, other than Jones playing at right back, it's pretty much full strength. So, as for how the game will go, again, I feel it'll be pretty much one of them where it's going to be a physical game. I think Newcastle will sit in. I don't think there'll be total part of the bus play, but I think they will sit back. They will let Liverpool have the ball kind of, and they'll kind of play on the break. And obviously, you know, they've got like some Jolinton. They have got players who can hurt us. Gordon, obviously, off the wing with his pace. They have got players who can hurt us on the break, so we have to be switched on defensively, like I've said. So this is the team I would go for against Newcastle United, and I think this team is good enough to go to St James's Park and get a win. So yeah, this is the team I've gone for, people. You know, if I can just stop screening that now. Yeah, we'll get back into the people. Oh, what's happened there? There we go, back to normal. So yeah, that is my team, people. As for my score prediction now, I am going to go with a 2-1 win to Liverpool. I think Liverpool will go to St James's Park, and I think we will get the W, and I think we will get the job done. Again, it's a game that the players will know that we need to win. The players will want to win, I feel. And again, we can open up that little gap on Manchester City, of course. Ideally, I would have liked the Arsenal to drop points yesterday too, but that was always very unlikely, let's be real, against Leeds. So yeah, I think Liverpool will get the win, and I think we'll walk away from St James's Park tomorrow night with the 3 points. Having said that, I think it'll be tough. You know, I'd imagine, you know, I feel we might score a late winner. It's going to be a tough game. But as for the score, I'm going with a 2-1 win. I think we will get the job done. I'm going to back the boys to get the job done. I think we'll win the game. Can I see a draw in this game? Yes, I can see a draw. I can see a cagey affair where maybe, you know, we're 2-1 up or something and they score late. But I can see a draw, a scenario where we do draw. I don't think we lose the game, to be fair. I don't see us losing this early on in the season. Having said that, Manchester City did lose on game week 2 against Spurs at home, so you never know. But I back the boys. I have to be confident. I have to back the boys. And I'm going to go with a 2-1 away win to Liverpool tomorrow night. And I think we'll get the 3 points. So yeah, I'm going 2-1. However, though, guys, that is it from the Liverpool Prophet. I hope you guys enjoyed the match preview and my predictions. Let me know down below what you guys do think, of course. On your way out, people, do remember to like, subscribe, and comment on the video. It's much appreciated and it goes a long way. I appreciate all of the love I get. Again, I'm going to head off, people. But yeah, I think Liverpool win 2-1 tomorrow. Let me know down below what you guys think, what your starting 11s will be, how you think the game will go, what you think your score will be. You know, hopefully Liverpool win. But yeah, up the Reds, guys. We go to St James's Park tomorrow night. Let's get the 3 points and let's shut the Newcastle fans up.